Chapter 1. Fifth Life, Same Mistake. You ever wake up and instantly know the universe hates you? Yeah. That's me. Again. The first thing I see is the same damn ceiling I've seen 4 deaths in a row. White plaster, cracked corner, suspicious stain shaped like the god of irony. I groan so loudly the pigeons outside scatter like they're in on the joke. Fantastic. 5th reincarnation. 0 character development. I sit up. Same body. Same peasant tunic. Let me summarize my situation. I, Rin, humble office worker turned accidental time loop victim, am cursed to reincarnate every time Derek, the kingdom's infamous villain prince, dies. Why? Because apparently I'm his fated soulmate. Cute, right? Except every lifetime ends the same way, with Derek's dramatic, stupid death and me respawning like a depressed RPG character. Last life, he fell into a moat trying to give me a flower. Before that, he got poisoned by tea I accidentally brewed with belladonna. Before that, dragon incident. Don't ask. This time, I promised myself I'd stay out of his royal eyeliner radius. No princes. No plots. No deaths. Just a quiet life selling cabbages and pretending destiny doesn't exist. So, of course, fate starts being a little bitch immediately. I'm hauling a cart of cabbages down the main street of Aldenvale, enjoying the sound of not being in mortal peril, when the crowd suddenly screams. Arrows fly overhead. Horses rear. Someone shouts, "Protect His Highness Derek." I freeze mid-step. My soul leaves my body. No, not again. And there he is, Derek himself, tall, dark, and radiating. I'm about to ruin Ren's life energy. He's wearing black armor, hair too perfect, eyes sharp enough to cut my paycheck. I could smell the tragedy on him from 50 feet away. Stay calm. Let him die quietly this time. I whisper to myself. But then, because the universe thrives on my humiliation, I see the assassin behind him. Crossbow, aimed straight for Derek's heart. And my idiot survival instincts betray me. Not today, eyeliner man. I scream, shove my cart, and send 30 kilos of cabbages flying through the air. The cabbages hit the assassin like holy grenades. The guy collapses under a pile of leafy justice. The entire street goes silent. Derek turns around slowly, a leaf stuck in his hair, expression unreadable. Our eyes meet. His are a dangerous mix of curiosity and, "Who the hell are you?" I give him my best nervous laugh. "Hi, big fan of monarchy?" Next thing I know, palace guards swarm me. I'm grabbed, cheered, and called hero before I can protest. Derek himself walks over, armor gleaming, voice smooth as sin. "You saved my life," he says, staring down at me like I'm some exotic animal. "Name yourself." "Run," I said. He smirks. And that's when I realize I've made the exact same mistake for the 5th damn time. Chapter 2. Your Majesty, please don't flirt with death. Do you know what's worse than waking up in a reincarnation loop? Finding out you've accidentally been promoted in it. I'm standing in the middle of the royal dressing chamber surrounded by fabrics that cost more than my lifetime of tax evasion, while 2 attendants hold up a silk robe that looks suspiciously like lingerie for men. This must be a mistake. I tell them, voice cracking like an old floorboard. "I'm a cabbage merchant. You don't give cabbages royal robes." One of the attendants blinks politely. "His Highness Derek has ordered that you be dressed appropriately for tonight's ceremony." "What ceremony?" "The one where you are officially named his savior and concubine." There's a pause long enough for me to internally scream. Then I say, very calmly, "I'm sorry, did you just say concubine?" "As in romantic property." "Yes, Lord Rin. Congratulations." I look up at the ceiling like maybe God will smite me on the spot and end the loop early. No such luck. By the time the ceremony starts, I'm draped in enough silk to qualify as a very expensive curtain. The grand hall is filled with nobles, candles, and the faint scent of judgment. Derek sits at the head of the table, looking every inch the brooding Prince of Doom. He catches my eye and smiles, a slow, devastating smile that should be illegal in at least 6 kingdoms. "Ah, my savior arrives. Ren, come sit beside me," he says loud enough for everyone to hear. I glance around for another Rin. No luck. I shuffle up like I'm walking to my own execution and whisper, Your Majesty, about this whole concubine thing, I think there's been a misunderstanding. I'm really more of a platonic savior. He leans close enough that I can smell his cologne, which is 80% danger and 20% poor decision-making. You saved my life. That makes you mine. I'm not your type, I swear, I whisper. He smiles wider. You're alive. That's my type. My eye twitches so hard I nearly see the future. Dinner begins. Everyone's laughing, drinking, and pretending this isn't the weirdest meet-cute in royal history. I, meanwhile, am calculating how far I could run in these silk slippers before the guards tackle me. Derek raises his goblet. To run. The man who risked his life to save mine, he declares. Everyone cheers. I fake a smile that probably looks like I'm constipated. Then Derek picks up a grape. A single, round, glossy grape. I freeze. He tosses it casually into his mouth mid-speech. And from this day forth I, Derek of House Valen, vow that I will, The entire hall goes silent. Your Majesty? Someone gasps. I slap my forehead. Oh no. Oh no, no, no. Not again. Derek's face is turning pink, eyes wide, hand clutching his throat. The nobles are screaming. The servants are panicking. I'm just sitting there like, is this real life? Am I being pranked by fate? Chapter 3. Grape trauma and other tragedies. There are many ways to wake up in the morning. Birdsong, sunshine, the gentle sound of peace. Or, if you're me, screaming into a pillow because your soulmate just died from a grape. The gods didn't even give me a grace period this time. I barely closed my eyes after watching Derek choke dramatically in front of 50 nobles. And now, bam. I'm back in my tiny peasant bed with hay stabbing my face and trauma stabbing my soul. Why? Why fruit again? I roar into my mattress. Outside, a rooster crows like it's mocking me. I hurl my pillow at it. It misses. The rooster wins. Okay. Breathe, Ren. You've done this 5 times now. You know the rules. Don't panic. Don't punch a god. And for the love of sanity, keep the idiot prince alive. So this time we take preventative measures. This time we stop the problem at the source. I sit up, eyes wild. No grapes. No problem. Grapes were the enemy. Grapes were the devil's marble-shaped bullets. If I just destroy every grape in the palace, Derek can't die from them. Simple logic. Genius plan. First, the same cycle saved Derek from ambush, got into palace as a guest. Well, a well-treated guest. Then, fast forward 2 hours and I'm sneaking through the royal kitchen dressed in black like a discount ninja. Servants bustle around, unaware of my divine mission. I spot my first target. A basket of fat purple grapes glistening in the sunlight like smug little death orbs. Not today, I whisper, grabbing a broom. I knock the basket into the fire. The grapes hiss and pop dramatically, releasing the faint smell of vengeance and vitamin C. Victory, I whisper, brushing my hands. Then I see 10 more baskets. Of course he eats grapes in bulk, I mutter, marching toward them like a soldier to war. I start dumping, squashing, stomping, pure chaos. By the time the head chef turns around, I've annihilated the entire kingdom's grape supply. The man shrieks, "What in the name of the harvest have you done?" "Emergency royal business. Food inspection," I shout. "You destroyed the prince's imported fruit. That's treason." I freeze. Technically, it's food safety. Guards start running in. Panic. Think fast. Ren. Use the brain cell. Wait. I'm, Prince Derek's official food taster. I yell. Silence. The chef blinks. His what? I stand straighter. Yes. He, personally assigned me to ensure his meals are safe. Poison. Grapes. Texture issues. You know. Royal stuff. The guards exchange glances. The chef frowns. Then Derek himself strolls in. Because of course he does. He looks at the chaos. Burning fruit, shocked staff, me covered in grape juice like a serial killer, and smirks. "Run, I see you found a new hobby," he says, voice silky. I swallow hard. It's not what it looks like. Oh? It looks like you've declared war on fruit. It's preventive medicine. He raises an eyebrow. Against what? Your early death and my blood pressure. He laughs, genuinely amused, and says, so you're protecting me again. But from what? Grapes. Admirable. I blink. Wait, it's just grapes can be lethal. Yes. Okay, from this day forward. Run will taste all my food before I do. He says, turning to the chef. I almost fall over. Boom. Promoted again. I just wanted to commit a little fruit genocide. And now I've got another job I didn't apply for. That night, I'm at Derek's private dinner table. The servants bring out dishes like it's a royal feast. Every plate looks suspiciously edible yet potentially lethal. Derek watches me with far too much amusement. Go on, my loyal taster, do your duty? He says. I eye the first dish and take a small bite. No poison. No drama. We move through 3 courses without incident, and I start to relax. Maybe this life won't be so bad. And then comes the tea. It's fragrant, sweet, and smells faintly like almonds. I know enough from past lives to recognize that's the scent of cyanide. I slam my cup down. Stop. Don't drink that. But Derek's already sipping because of course he is. He sets it down, smiles at me, and says, it's delicious. My blood runs cold. Derek, how many sips? He blinks slowly. Enough to be poetic, I think. And then he collapses. I shriek so loudly I might have ruptured divine eardrums. Not again. He's lying there, pale, breathing shallowly, but somehow he's still smirking. Guess. This is karma for flirting. Stop being romantic while dying. You're not allowed to make death look hot. I yell, shaking him like a maraca. He chuckles weakly, then goes limp. The guards burst in, see the scene, and immediately assume I poisoned him. I throw my hands up. I told you I'm bad at this job. They drag me away as the palace erupts in chaos, and I can already feel the tug of reincarnation pulling at the edges of my vision. Not again! I groan as the world starts fading. The gods are probably placing bets again. As everything goes dark, I hear distant laughter, celestial and cruel, and just before I vanish, I mutter, I swear, next life, I'm stapling his mouth shut. Chapter 4. The Kingdom's Dumbest Bodyguard. Waking up after your soulmate drinks poison is already a rough morning. Waking up again in your hay bed, realizing the poison incident was your second royal death failure in a row, is the emotional equivalent of being slapped by destiny and handed a participation ribbon. I open my eyes, stare at the familiar ceiling, and immediately scream into the pillow. Again. Why do I even try? I'm starting to get PTSD from existence. The rooster outside answers with a cheerful crow, which I take as divine mockery. Fine. If the universe wants chaos, I'll give it chaos. Clearly, letting Derek live independently is impossible. Feeding him is dangerous. Leaving him alone is suicide. That only leaves one option. I become his personal bodyguard. Now, I'm not exactly built for combat. In my first life, my most dangerous weapon was a stapler. But desperate times call for desperate delusions. Now again, same cycle, save the prince, destroy the royal grapes, then throw away all the tea. Then, this time, I march into the palace barracks like I belong there. I demand entry into the royal guard. I declare to the captain. He looks me up and down. I'm wearing royal robes that screams I can be the side chick of the prince. Why? He asks. Because I want to protect Prince Derek, I say. He blinks. Derek walks in at that exact moment, because, apparently, he's developed a sixth sense for when I'm embarrassing myself. Run. Why are you trying to join my bodyguards? He says, smiling with infuriating amusement. Because clearly yours suck. You keep dying like it's a hobby. I blurt. The guards gasp. Derek's smile widens. I'm dying, what are you talking about? I freeze. My mouth opens and closes like a fish. It's my dreams. In my dreams, I saw you dying. Oh, yes. It's more efficient to keep you alive because my dreams warned me. He chuckles, clearly entertained by my suffering. Very well, my brave cabbage warrior. You may train with the guards. The captain groans. My prince, with all due respect. He looks like he could lose a fight to a spoon. Exactly, it'll be funny. Derek says. Training starts immediately. I last about 10 seconds. Swords are heavy. Armor itches. And my arms have the tensile strength of soggy breadsticks. Every time I swing, I spin in a full circle and fall on my face. The captain pinches his nose. He's hopeless. Derek, lounging nearby and sipping wine, calls out, Don't be cruel. He's doing his best. I sneezed and dropped the sword on my own foot. I yell, See? Dedication. Derek says, smiling proudly. By the end of the week, I've somehow disarmed 3 guards by accident, set a training dummy on fire, and knocked myself unconscious with a shield. I'm not improving. I'm evolving in reverse. And yet, Derek keeps showing up to watch. He laughs at my failures, brings me towels, and occasionally offers helpful advice like, Try aiming for the enemy, not the air. Or, You look cute when you fall down, which, frankly, should be considered a war crime. Eventually, he insists I accompany him everywhere. You're my favorite idiot, he says one morning, while I'm still icing my bruises. I'm your only idiot, I mutter. Exactly. I roll my eyes but follow him anyway, because if I don't, fate will probably drop a piano on his head. The kingdom's spring parade arrives soon after. Derek, dressed in regal blue, sits proudly atop a massive white horse. I ride behind him, pretending to be competent while praying for everything to be fine. He looks back at me, smiling that devastating smile. Nervous? Of course not. I lie, gripping the reins like they owe me money. The crowd cheers, flowers rain down, and for a brief, shining moment I think maybe, just maybe, I can keep him alive this time. And then my nose itches. No, not now. Not in public. I try to hold it back, but the pollen hits like divine retribution. Achoo! It's an explosion. My sneeze echoes across the square. The horses spook instantly. Derek's stallion rears up with a horrified whinny, and before anyone can react, the prince goes flying. Are you serious? I scream as he sails through the air like a majestic, doomed bird. He hits a decorative fruit cart. Grapes everywhere. The irony is almost too much. I leap off my horse and rush to him. Derek, say something. Anything. He blinks at me weakly, half buried in fruit. Bless you, he whispers. This is not the time for jokes. He laughs faintly and then, of course, dies. Again. I stare down at his lifeless, stupidly handsome face and yell to the heavens, Why does he die like it's a hobby? The gods probably high-five each other. The crowd screams. The captain faints. Me? I just kneel there, covered in grapes, realizing I'm about to wake up in that same damn hay bed again. Next life, I'm getting him a helmet. I mumble as the world fades to white, and then everything goes dark. Chapter 5. Gods are watching, and they're laughing. Waking up for the 4th time should qualify as a mental health hazard. I don't even bother screaming into the pillow this round. I just lie there, face down, and whisper to the universe. I surrender. You win. I'm your favorite chew toy, aren't I? The rooster outside answers, Cuckoo. Translation. Yes. I roll over and stare at the ceiling, mentally replaying Derek's last words as he plummeted off that horse. Bless you, he said. Bless you. He died making a sneeze joke. I hate him, and I hate reincarnation. I tell the ceiling. But I get up anyway, because apparently my personality flaw is caring despite trauma. I decide to do what any rational, exhausted soul would do after 4 consecutive romantic disasters. Avoid Derek entirely. No grapes, no training, no heroics. This life, I'm going full NPC mode. Quiet, invisible, no involvement. If Derek wants to die, he can do it far away from me this time. Unfortunately, the universe hears that and says, Challenge accepted. I spend a few days pretending to be a lowly servant, sweeping corridors and avoiding eye contact with any eyeliner-wearing royalty. Life's peaceful. almost suspiciously peaceful. Then one afternoon, while cleaning the palace chapel, I overhear something weird. Voices. Not human voices, echoing, booming, smug voices. 50 silver on death by chandelier, one says. Nonsense. It'll be poison again. The mortal can't stop fate with sarcasm alone. Another replies. I freeze mid-sweep. Did someone just say death by chandelier? I slowly peek behind the altar, and there it is. A shimmering rift in the air, like a cosmic group chat. A handful of glowing divine figures lounge on clouds, holding goblets, gambling like celestial frat boys. Hey! Excuse me. What are you degenerates doing? I shout. They all turn to look at me. One of them squints. Oh, it's the cabbage boy. I have a name. Yes, Ren, the mortal bound to the doomed prince. You've been a wonderful source of entertainment. Says another, smirking. Entertainment? You're betting on his deaths. I sputter. Of course, Derek's soul is cursed. He's destined to die repeatedly until your love for him becomes genuine. Says the goddess of fate, filing her nails. I blink. I'm sorry. Until my what becomes what? Your love, you see, you're soul-bound. He dies when your affection fails to anchor him to life. It's rather poetic, really? She repeats patiently, like I'm a slow child. I gape. Poetic? He's died to a grape, tea, a horse, and physics. What part of that screams poetry to you? A god shrugs. Tragic romance sells better. I pinch the bridge of my nose. Love? I barely like his breathing. Half the time he's alive, he's flirting or dying. The gods burst into laughter. Literal, rolling, thunderous laughter that shakes the chapel. Adorable denial will raise the odds to triple if he makes it through the next ball without dying. One of them says, "What ball?" The rift snaps shut. Cut to 2 days later, the ball. Because apparently fate heard, "What ball?" As please schedule it immediately. I'm standing in the grand hall, surrounded by chandeliers, glitter, and people I'm too emotionally unstable to deal with. Derek, naturally, looks like sin in royal form. He spots me instantly and grins. Ren, I thought you'd vanished. I did, spiritually. I mutter. He laughs, approaching with that dangerous glint in his eyes. You're avoiding me again, because every time I'm near you, someone dies. Usually you. He smirks. Then it's worth it. I groan. Do you practice being this dramatic, or does it come naturally? He leans closer. You think about me even when you're pretending not to. I think about therapy, Derek. He chuckles, clearly unbothered by my emotional breakdown. The evening drags on. I hover awkwardly near the refreshment table, keeping one paranoid eye on him and the other on the ceiling, because now I know there's a betting pool on his death, and chandelier was the leading guess. Everything seems fine. Derek's dancing, nobles are gossiping, no one's choking, and then I hear a creak. A long, drawn-out creak. I look up. The chandelier above the dance floor is swaying like it's possessed. Oh, come on! I shout, sprinting forward. Ren? Derek blinks as I barrel toward him like a man possessed. What? Move! Before he can react, I shove him hard. The chandelier crashes down with a thunderous boom, scattering glass, gold, and flaming candles everywhere. For one glorious moment, I think I've done it. I actually saved him. Then I realize Derek isn't beside me. He's under the chandelier. But not because it hit him, no. Because he dived back to shove me out of the way. He's smiling up at me, trapped under gilded wreckage, bleeding just a little, looking unfairly beautiful in candlelight. Why does gravity hate me personally? I whisper, kneeling beside him. He reaches out, fingers brushing mine. Guess. We both can't resist saving each other. I want to strangle him and cry at the same time. You stupid, heroic idiot. Stop flirting while dying. He laughs weakly. Can't help it. You look cute when you're panicking. Then his eyes flutter shut. And just like that, the world fades again. The gasps, the chaos, the light. It all blurs until I'm back in that same damn hay bed, screaming into the same damn pillow. Somewhere, above the clouds, I swear I can hear divine laughter echoing down. I sit up, hair a mess, soul exhausted, and growl. Fine. You want true love? I'll give you love so powerful it'll make Olympus cry. The rooster crows. I glare at it. Don't you start. Chapter 6. The man who died by soup. You'd think after 4 lives of watching your husband die in increasingly ridiculous ways, a person would develop emotional resilience. Wrong. What I've developed is paranoia so deep it could be legally classified as a religion. The morning after chandelier death number 4, I sit bolt upright in bed and declare to the universe. No more. Not this time. Prince Derek of the Death Olympics will live if it kills me. The rooster outside gives a cautious crow, probably wondering if I've finally snapped. Answer: yes. My new plan? Total control. I'm done trusting fate, destiny, or Derek's ability to walk upright without catastrophic consequences. I bubble wrap his entire existence. Literally. First, the environment. Every staircase in the palace? Blocked. I install ramps. Every sharp object? Confiscated. Every piece of furniture with a right angle? Gone. Rounded corners only. The guards now have to wear padded armor just in case Derek accidentally impales himself on their decorative spears. Run. Why is my room covered in foam? Derek says one morning as he steps carefully across the plush carpet I installed over marble tiles. Safety foam, you could trip. You will trip. I'm preparing for when you trip. I say. He raises an eyebrow. You're acting strange. And you're acting alive. Keep it that way. I shoot back. He laughs, shaking his head. You worry too much. That's because you treat existence like a dare. He grins, coming closer. You care about me. Don't start, the gods are watching. And they're into that kind of emotional blackmail. I warn. Next, I regulate his meals. Nothing sharp. Nothing poisonous. Nothing edible looking. Every dish that enters the royal kitchen goes through me first. I test it, sniff it, glare at it, and occasionally chew it. Yes, I pre-chew his food. No, I'm not proud. Yes, the staff thinks I've lost it. I can feed myself. Derek protests one evening as I hover with a spoon. Last time you fed yourself, you choked on a grape and reincarnated me. I remind him. That was one time. It was our first time. He sighs. You know, in some cultures, what you're doing would be considered romantic. In some cultures, what you're doing would be considered a health hazard. He chuckles, which is frankly unfair. I'm trying to save his life, and he's busy being charming. Days pass. Miraculously, Derek stays alive. I start to believe my overprotective madness might actually work. That illusion lasts exactly 3 days. It's lunchtime in the royal dining hall. I'm pacing behind Derek's chair, scanning the room for hazards like a paranoid hawk. Everything seems safe. The food is mild. The floor isn't slippery. The lighting is stable. Derek looks unusually cheerful, which, in my experience, means death is imminent. Run, he says, smiling at me. I made something for you. I narrow my eyes. Is it dangerous? It's soup. That depends. Is it hot soup? He rolls his eyes and takes the steaming bowl in both hands and starts walking toward me, probably trying to do something romantic and cinematic. Big mistake. Because the universe hates me, he steps on his own cloak. The world slows down. Derek! Too late. He trips forward, the bowl flying in slow motion. Liquid gold arcing through the air like the world's cruelest ballet. There's a splash. A thud. A very dramatic silence. I rush over, heart pounding. He's on the floor, covered in soup, face down in broth, completely still. Derek! Call. No response. Derek! Still nothing. I shake him. He's warm, slippery, smelling faintly of chicken stock. You drowned. In broth. I'm half screaming, half crying, half ready to throw the gods a lawsuit. You had one job. One. To eat. You didn't even get that far. The servants are panicking. I'm sobbing. Derek's last expression is a peaceful smile, like dying in soup was a romantic gesture. I wake up back in the same damn hay bed, the scent of poultry trauma still haunting my nose. I stare at the ceiling, voice trembling. He drowned in soup. He actually drowned. In soup. The rooster outside crows. Shut up, or I'll make you my next reincarnation trigger. I mutter. I flop back, covering my face. Okay, new rule. No liquids, no solids, no walking. Derek can exist in a padded room, eating air and compliments. The universe doesn't answer. But I swear, somewhere up there, the gods are howling with laughter again. And me? I'm ready to fight them. Fine. Round 6. Let's go. You divine sadists. Let's see what he dies to next. Water vapor. I shout at the sky. The rooster crows again, like a countdown to my next failure. Chapter 7. Seduced by the curse and by him. At this point, I'm convinced I'm the protagonist of a divine sitcom. The gods are the writer's room. The universe is their set. And Derek's repeated deaths are the running gag they refuse to drop. Every time I wake up, I can almost hear the laugh track. This time, though, it's quieter. No panic. No screaming. Just me, lying in bed, thinking about a man who managed to drown in soup. I hate him. I hate his face. I hate his voice. I hate the way he smiles right before dying. I pause. That I miss him. Oh no. No, no, no. This is how insanity starts. First it's, I miss him. Next thing you know, I'm wearing matching outfits and crying over his grave number 6. So I do what any emotionally unstable reincarnator would do. Avoid feelings like they're poisonous mushrooms. I distract myself. I organize the kitchen. I repaint the walls. I train. I meditate. I even try flirting with a broom just to test if I'm still capable of liking anyone else. Spoiler. I'm not. Because no matter what I do, Derek's face keeps showing up in my head. That dumb grin. Those smug eyes. That I'm going to die heroically again aura. It's unbearable. Days pass. The palace feels wrong without him. Too quiet. Too alive. Then, like the curse enjoys mocking my sanity, he appears again. Same smirk. Same voice. Same gravitational pull of doom. He walks into the courtyard while I'm pruning the rose bushes. To prevent him from stabbing himself with thorns again. Long story. Run, you're gardening now? He says, smiling like death isn't his part-time job. I drop the shears. I'm coping. He tilts his head. With what? With your face. I mutter. He laughs because of course he does. You missed me. Missed the quiet. I lie. Liar. He says softly, stepping closer. And I, like an idiot, freeze. Because up close, he smells like rain and danger. Don't look at me like that. I mumble. Like what? Like you're about to do something stupid again. Depends on your definition of stupid. He says, eyes glinting. Anything you do. He chuckles. Then yes. That night I try to sleep. I fail miserably. Every creak of the floorboards sounds like his footsteps. Every gust of wind reminds me of his laugh. Stop thinking about him, you're not in love. You're in trauma. I whisper to the ceiling. The ceiling doesn't argue. I roll over, punch the pillow and growl. You can't fall for someone who dies like it's a hobby, Ran. But my chest feels weird, heavy and warm. And I know deep down that it's already too late. 2 days later, Derek corners me in the palace garden. He looks serious. Too serious. That's never good. Ren, there's something I need to tell you, he says. I blink. Please tell me it's not, I'm dying again. He chuckles nervously. No. I need to say this before I lose the chance. My stomach drops. Oh no. Run, he says again, taking a step closer. Every time I die, I think of you first. Every time I wake again, I look for you. Stop. Love you. Stop. You can't say things like that. The gods hear things like that. I wave my hands wildly. He frowns. Run, I'm serious. I'm seriously begging you to take that sentence back. You can't drop the L word in a world this cursed. Why not? Because something terrible always happens when you crack. A blinding flash. I blink and see Derek mid-confession. standing with a look of mild surprise on his face. His hair is standing up, faintly smoking. The sky rumbles like it's laughing. "Oh no, Derek," I say, voice trembling. Thud. He collapses. Lightning. The man just got struck by lightning mid-confession. I drop to my knees beside him, rain starting to pour. That's not a rejection. That's smiting. His body's still smoking faintly. His shirt's half-burned. He's got a smile on his face like this is somehow romantic. Why? Why? He wasn't even being dramatic this time. I shout at the sky. Thunder rumbles back, suspiciously like laughter. "Stop laughing, you celestial comedians." I swear. I'm this close to inventing atheism. I shake Derek's shoulder. "You hear me? That doesn't count as rejection. You're not allowed to die mid-sentence." No response. Of course, when I wake up again, it's raining. The same ceiling. The same rooster. The same cosmic humiliation. I stare at the wall, voice hoarse. He said he loved me and got struck by lightning. Even the weather ships us. I press a hand over my chest, where it hurts. Not physically, just everywhere else. For the first time, I don't scream. I don't curse. I just whisper, "I'm sorry, idiot. I'll figure this out. Somehow. Because the gods can laugh all they want. But I'm starting to think this isn't just fate's joke anymore. It's love. And it's killing me." Chapter 8. Reincarnation Burnout. I have reached enlightenment. Not the peaceful, monk on a mountain kind, no. I've reached the deranged kind. The kind where you've died so many times from someone else's stupidity that your brain just stops buffering. At this point, Derek's mortality isn't a curse. It's a hobby, a lifestyle choice, a genre. I wake up, again, in the same hay bed, stare at the same ceiling, and instead of screaming, I just whisper, "No." Not no as in I won't do this. No as in I reject this reality. I throw my pillow across the room and address the invisible sky cameras that I know are there. "Congratulations, gods. You've broken me. You happy? You won your little divine sitcom." Outside, thunder rumbles in what sounds suspiciously like applause. "Don't you clap for me," I yell. This life, I decide I'm going nuclear. Forget being his bodyguard. Forget saving him from food. Forget emotional intimacy. I'm taking control of the plot. Step 1. Skip every event that might cause death. No balls, no parades, no meals, no dramatic monologues near windows. Step 2. Lock Derek in a tower. Preferably one without stairs, windows, or liquids. Step 3. Bribe the gods. I don't know how divine corruption works, but I'm willing to pay in gold, soul fragments, or my eternal dignity, whichever they'll take first. So I march up to Derek's chamber like a man possessed. He's lounging on his bed, shirt half open as usual, like Sin was his fashion consultant. "Run, you're back," he says, smiling. "I'm fixing everything," I announce. That sounds ominous. It's protective. From now on, you're staying here, in this room. Safe, fed, supervised. No horses, no soup, no fruit, no heroics. Correct. He blinks. "You want to lock me in a tower?" "Yes." He grins. Kinky. I nearly choke on air. This isn't a romance thing. It's a safety thing. Do I at least get a comfortable bed? He hums. "You get bubble wrap," I mutter. 2 days later, I've transformed the tower into a Derek-proof sanctuary. The windows are barred. The furniture's padded. The food comes in small, chewable cubes that even he can't weaponize. I'm proud. For once, everything feels under control. Then I hear laughter. Not mortal laughter. The celestial kind. I look up. Sure enough, shimmering above the tower is a glowing rift. The divine equivalent of a Twitch stream. The gods are watching. Again. "Oh, look! He's isolated the prince. How romantic." One of them says. Another chuckles. I give it 3 days before the idiot finds a new way to perish. I yell at the sky. "Stop commentating on my pain." They don't. In fact, one of them conjures popcorn. By day 3, Derek's getting restless. He paces the tower like a caged lion. occasionally glancing at me. Ren, I think the gods are spying on us. He says, oh, they're doing more than that. They're betting on our misery. I say, glaring upward. He tilts his head. Then maybe we should give them a show. Don't even think about being romantic. That's what got us lightning last time. He laughs, shaking his head. You worry too much. I grip my hair. You die too much. And then, of course, he does it again. It starts innocently enough. He's sulking because I won't let him attend the spring banquet. So, in his infinite stupidity, he decides to fake his own death to prove a point. Run, he says dramatically, holding a goblet. If I were to perish right now, would you even care? I'd celebrate, I say. He grins. Then allow me to demonstrate. Before I can stop him, he raises the goblet and drinks. I sigh. What even is that? He smirks. A death potion. I grab the cup from him, sniff it, and blink. This is fruit punch. He coughs once, then twice, then dramatically clutches his chest. Derek, I swear to. He collapses. I kneel beside him, panic rising. No, you didn't just. He's not breathing. I shake him. You choked on fruit punch. That's not even possible. Nothing. I slap his cheek. You drowned in a beverage again? The gods above are losing it. I can hear laughter booming through the clouds. One of them wheezes. I told you he'd find a new way to die. I glare upward, tears in my eyes. I can't do this anymore. He's too stupid to live. Literally. Thunder answers with the sound of divine giggling. I wake up again. Same hay bed. Same rooster. Same growing sense of existential despair. This time, I don't even get up. I just lie there, staring blankly at the ceiling. The rooster crows once. Yeah, he choked on juice. Go ahead, laugh. Everyone else is. I mutter. I close my eyes and whisper. Maybe next life I'll just let him die and see what happens. A pause. Then a voice. Faint, amused, celestial. Echoes in my head. We'd bet against that. I flip off the heavens. Put your money where your miracle is. You divine parasites. Chapter 9. Therapy with a God. There comes a point in every man's life when he realizes the universe is personally gaslighting him. For me, that point comes somewhere between Derek choked on fruit punch and the gods are still laughing about it. At this point, I've stopped counting deaths. I've stopped screaming. I've stopped hoping. Now I'm just tired. Reincarnation burnout, baby. It's real. And I'm its poster child. When I wake up this time, I don't even sit up. I just lie there, face down in the hay, muttering into the pillow. Kill me again, I dare you. I'm one grape away from going full villain arc. The rooster outside crows like it's mocking me. I throw a boot at it. Shut up, you immortal feathered demon. That's when I decide enough is enough. If the gods want to play therapist, I'm taking this directly to their celestial HR department. The Temple of Fate sits on a mountain, all white marble and passive-aggressive holiness. It's supposed to inspire awe. It inspires only migraines. Inside, the air hums with divine energy, the kind that makes your hair static and your self-worth evaporate. A priest bows when he sees me. Mortal, what brings you? I want a refund, I say. He blinks. Pardon. A refund. On reincarnation. On romance. On destiny. It's all defective. Before he can respond, a voice echoes through the chamber. Smooth, amused, and deeply annoying. Bring him in, it says. And just like that, the marble doors swing open. The god of reincarnation lounges on a throne made entirely of glowing scrolls. He looks like every smug spiritual influencer rolled into one, barefoot, radiant, and 100% ready to ruin my day. Run. It's rare for a mortal to seek therapy this way. He greets, smiling like we're old friends. I don't need therapy. I need your system debugged, I say. He chuckles. And yet, here you are, on your 8th emotional breakdown. I'm fine, I lie. He raises a brow. You've died 8 times watching your soulmate perish. You scream at poultry. You sleep in hay by choice. You're not fine. I glare. You spying on me? Of course. Your prime entertainment in the divine realm. I hope your ratings tank. He smirks, completely unbothered. Tell me, Ren, why do you keep saving him? Because he keeps dying. Why? He presses gently. I blink. What kind of question is that? Because I care, obviously. Do you? That stings more than it should. He rises from his throne, stepping closer, his voice soft now. Every time you save him, you do it out of fear. Fear of loss. Fear of guilt. Fear of pain. That's not love, Ren, that's control. I open my mouth, but no words come out. He continues. You protect him so desperately that you've forgotten to let him live. You've built a cage and called it affection. My throat feels tight. You're saying it's my fault? I'm saying love isn't about preventing death. It's about letting life happen. I hate that it makes sense. I hate that he sounds right. The god smiles faintly. Until you love him freely, without fear, the curse will continue. I clench my fists. And if I fail again? Then you'll wake up. Again. When I leave the temple, the sun's setting. The sky's all orange and gold. The same color as Derek's eyes when he teases me. I walk down the mountain in silence, the god's words echoing in my skull. You never let him live. Maybe he's right. Maybe I've been so busy keeping Derek alive that I forgot what living even means. The next day, I find Derek in the palace garden. He's kneeling by the fountain, feeding crumbs to a small bird. For once, he looks peaceful. No drama, no danger, no flirting. Just Derek. He glances up and smiles. You're back. Yeah, miss me? I say, my voice quieter than usual. Always. Something soft twists in my chest. I open my mouth to apologize, to tell him I've been wrong. Then I see movement. An archer across the courtyard. A flash of silver. Derek, move. But he's already seen it. He stands and throws himself forward, shielding the bird with his body as the arrow strikes. For one insane, beautiful moment, I think he's okay. Then he stumbles. The bird flutters away. He falls into my arms, smiling faintly, like always. I saved it, he whispers. My hands shake. You saved a bird, Derek. A bird. Do you realize what your priorities are? He laughs weakly. At least, I finally did something right. And then he's gone. The world blurs. The sky spins. I fall to my knees, clutching him. The gods are probably laughing again, but I can't even hear it this time. All I can do is press my forehead to his and whisper through shaking breath. Fine. Next time, I'll try to love you right. And as the light fades again, I swear I feel his hand twitch, just once. Like he's waiting for me to finally mean it. Chapter 10. New strategy. Genuine feelings and panic. Okay. Deep breaths. Ren, you got this. You talked to a literal god, had an emotional breakdown, and watched your undead husband die saving a bird. You've hit rock bottom. Now it's time to, what did the god say? Yes, love him freely, which is great advice. If you're not me, let me be clear. I am not built for romance. I'm built for panic, sarcasm, and emotionally repressing myself into a fine paste. If love were a skill tree, I'd still be stuck at level 1, spamming awkward compliment and missing every time. But this time I'm doing it right. No overprotective nonsense. No micromanaging Derek's heartbeat. Just genuine feelings. You know, the thing I don't understand. When I wake up again because yes, he died again and yes, I screamed again, I decide to start fresh. I find Derek training in the palace courtyard, sweat glistening on his skin, looking like a Renaissance painting made to ruin my emotional stability. He turns, surprised. Ren, you look different. That's because I'm trying something new. It's called not being emotionally constipated. I say. He blinks. Sounds dangerous. It is, for both of us. I mutter. Step 1 of my new plan. Treat Derek like a person, not a problem. So instead of tackling him away from falling vases, I just talk to him. About normal things. Food, weather, existential dread. And weirdly, it works. He laughs more. smiles softer, stops looking like he's carrying the weight of a tragic backstory. Even though, let's be honest, he absolutely is. One evening, we're sitting by the garden fountain, eating roasted nuts from a shared bowl. He looks at me, eyes warm. "You've changed," he says quietly. I shrug. "Therapy. With a god." He snorts. "How divine." "Yeah, he told me I have control issues." "You? Never." He feigns shock. "Shut up," I say, tossing a nut at him. He catches it in his mouth and grins. And for a fleeting, fragile moment, I forget we're cursed. Step 2. Let Derek live his life. He wants to go to the market? Fine. Wants to spar? Cool. Wants to bake bread even though he once set fire to the royal kitchen? I allow it, hesitantly, while holding a fire extinguisher. The gods must be bored because for a full week, an entire glorious, death-free week, nothing goes wrong. Derek's happy. I'm learning how to be. And when he laughs, really laughs, it's the kind of sound that makes my chest ache in that way that's both annoying and addictive. Then comes bath day. The most cursed day in all universes. Derek insists he can handle washing himself. Something I didn't think needed clarification, but fine. I trust him. I sit outside the bath chamber, reading a book like a normal, functioning human being, proud of myself for not hovering. Then I hear humming. Then a loud thunk. Then silence. My soul leaves my body. "Derek." I call. No answer. I drop the book, kick the door open, and find him half submerged in the tub, soap floating mockingly beside him, a blissful smile frozen on his face. "No." I rush forward, shaking him. "You did not just... Derek. Wake up. You can't die in a bath." Nothing. I grab the cursed soap bar, glare at it like it personally wronged me, and hurl it out the window with all the force of divine vengeance. It hits a priest in the courtyard. I do not apologize. Cut to me. Kneeling by the tub, dripping wet, whispering to the heavens, "I'm trying. I'm doing the love thing. Why can't he stop dying like an idiot?" The gods' laughter echoes faintly in the distance. One of them probably just won another bet. I glare at the ceiling. "You think this is funny? He died because of soap. Do you understand how statistically impossible that is?" No reply, just a suspicious sparkle in the air that feels like divine smugness. When I wake up again, of course I do, I find myself back at square one. I lie there for a full minute before whispering, "I'm banning all soap from existence." Later that day, I see Derek again. Alive, oblivious, towel around his neck, humming the same cursed tune. He grins. "You look like you've seen a ghost. I have you, naked, dead, in a tub." I mutter. He tilts his head. "You've had that dream before?" "It wasn't a dream," I snap. "It was trauma." He laughs. That soft, stupid laugh that makes my anger melt no matter how much I want to stay mad. And just like that, I sigh. "Fine, let's start again. But you're banned from soap. Forever." He raises a brow. "How do you expect me to stay clean?" "I'll invent dry bathing. The gods owe me innovation credit at this point." I grumble. That night, as Derek falls asleep beside me, breathing, thankfully, I stare at the ceiling and think, okay, maybe I'm doing this wrong. Maybe loving someone means accepting they might die anyway. But if he has to die again, I just hope it's not because of bath products. Chapter 11. The unkillable romance. At this point, I've stopped pretending I'm not in love. Fine. There. I said it. You win, gods. You smug, popcorn-eating sky gremlins. Ran, the former office worker turned serial reincarnator, has officially fallen for the world's most beautiful disaster. Prince Derek. I could die doing literally anything. I hate it. I love him. I hate that I love him. And I love hating how much I love him. See? This is what losing sanity in HD looks like. The thing is, it's different now. Before, I was always on guard, ready to throw myself in front of daggers, soup bowls, chandeliers, and the occasional poultry-based assassination attempt. But lately, I just want to be with him, not to protect him, not to outsmart fate. just to exist beside him without the world trying to murder him for sport. Also, side note, if one more celestial being calls us their favorite tragic couple, I'm suing for emotional damages. Derek's been softer too. Less brooding prince, more affectionate menace. He's still dramatic, of course. He'd monologue about the weather if you let him. But when he looks at me now, it's not like he's waiting for tragedy. It's like he's waiting for me. And damn it, that's unfair. We're standing on the palace balcony one night, watching the stars. The sky's so clear it almost looks fake. Like someone finally upgraded the world's graphics card. Derek leans against the railing, the moonlight making his eyes shimmer silver. I used to think the stars were cruel, always watching, never helping. He says softly. I snort. You're not wrong. They've seen us die 10 times and didn't even send a memo. He chuckles. And yet, here we are again. Yeah, still somehow alive. Mostly, I say. He tilts his head. Ren, do you ever get tired? I blink. Of what? Of trying to save me. The question hits like a quiet storm. Once upon a time, I would have said yes. But now, I shake my head. No, I just get tired of losing you. He smiles, soft and sad, like he knows exactly how heavy that sentence is. Then he reaches for my hand, and my heart does a full system reboot. Okay, this is it. No distractions. No deaths. No divine mockery. Just two cursed idiots under the stars. Derek steps closer, his breath warm against my skin. I can feel my pulse in my ears. The gods are probably live-streaming this, but for once, I don't care. He whispers, Ren, yeah, I think I love you. I grin, nervous and sarcastic because emotional sincerity short-circuits my brain. Cool, because if you didn't, I'd have to reincarnate again just to yell at you. He laughs, the kind of laugh that reaches his eyes, and before I can make another stupid joke, he kisses me. And oh, for a second, everything stops. The curse, the laughter, the endless restarts. All of it fades. It's like the universe itself forgot what to do next. Even the gods seem to freeze. The air goes still. The stars flicker like they're buffering reality. And for that single, fragile heartbeat, I think, maybe this is it. Maybe we finally won. Then, of course, I lean too far. My balance shifts. Derek's hand tightens on mine, trying to steady me. And physics, that heartless traitor, intervenes. We both stumble against the balcony railing. Wait, Derek, don't. He tries to pull me back. Instead, he slips. There's a slow-motion moment where our eyes meet, him wide-eyed, me screaming, N-O, 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 and then he's gone. Over the edge. I rush to the railing, breathless, peering down at the courtyard. There he is, sprawled dramatically on a patch of rose bushes. Moonlight shining, expression peaceful, dead. Again. I pinch the bridge of my nose, inhaling through my teeth. Romantic death, 10 out of 10. Still hate it. I mutter. Above me, the sky glitches. Literally glitches. Stars flicker like dying light bulbs. The constellations scramble. Somewhere up there, I swear I hear divine whispering. Wait, he died mid-kiss? Does that count as a tragic ending or a romantic one? We need new rules. I yell upward. Stop treating my trauma like a soap opera. Thunder rumbles like laughter. I climb down, pull his stupid, perfect body from the roses, and sit beside him. For a moment, I don't even cry. I just look at him, beautiful, reckless, and dead from affection-related gravity. Derek, if you wanted to fall for me, this was not the way. I whisper. He doesn't respond, obviously. The gods probably took notes. When I wake up again, it's morning. I stare at the ceiling and sigh so hard it feels like a prayer. Fine, you want romance? I'll give you romance. But next time, we're kissing on flat ground. I say to the heavens. Chapter 12. Rebellion, Gods, and Gay Defiance. If anyone ever tells you, love conquers all, punch them. No, seriously, punch them. Right in their hopeful little jaw. Because apparently, love conquers all doesn't include physics, divine curses, or the fact that my husband has a life expectancy shorter than an ice cube in hell. When I wake up this time, again, 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 I don't even bother to scream. I just sit up, stare at the same cursed sunrise, and mutter, I'm going to sue the heavens. It's not a metaphor. I mean it literally. The gods have toyed with me for 10 lifetimes. They've bet on Derek's deaths like it's The Bachelor, Eternal Suffering Edition. They've turned my misery into divine entertainment. And after last night's balcony fiasco, I'm done. This isn't love anymore. It's emotional parkour with no safety net. So yeah, I'm storming the afterlife. Step 1, die on purpose. I grab the nearest sword. Don't worry, it's ceremonial. Mostly, I mutter, for love, vengeance, and HR complaints. And jab it into my gut with the finesse of someone who's very used to dying for dumb reasons. Pain? Whatever. Regret? Been there. Gods? They're about to get customer feedback. The world fades, light floods in, and suddenly I'm standing in the celestial lobby of reincarnation. A glowing expanse of marble, clouds, and deeply punchable deities. A chorus of divine voices greets me. Oh, look who's back. Round 11 already? Ran, sweetie. You're trending in the mortal realm. I glare. Don't sweetie me, you eternal bureaucrats. I want answers. One god, shaped like an over-decorated peacock, scoffs. Answers? You mortals and your entitlement. We gave you eternal love and endless lives. You gave me endless deaths. Do you have any idea how exhausting it is watching the same man choke on soup, fruit, gravity, and romance? I snap. The gods chuckle. Entertaining, though. I'm not your entertainment. Of course you are, you're our favorite tragic couple. It's a classic trope. Says another, sipping what looks like divine champagne. My jaw drops. Trope? Star-crossed lovers. Curse of rebirth. Tragic deaths. The mortals eat it up. Oh, I'll give you something to eat. And it rhymes with smite. I growl. I'm shaking. Furious. For once, I don't care if they strike me down. I don't care if I reincarnate into a snail next. I just look up at that blinding golden hall and yell, You turned my love into punishment. The laughter dies. You made me watch him die 1,000 stupid, painful, idiotic ways. And for what? For your amusement? For divine ratings. The peacock god frowns. You speak boldly, mortal. I glare harder. You made me afraid to love him. Every time I cared, you punished me for it. You made me believe affection was dangerous. You made me think I was the curse. Silence. Then, from the shadows at the edge of the hall, a new voice, softer, feminine, like wind whispering through glass. Maybe it is, she says. I turn. A goddess steps forward, clad in silver light, eyes kind but sharp. The goddess of bonds. The one who weaves fates, breaks curses, and clearly enjoys dramatic entrances. Run, your love was never meant to be a punishment. She says, Yeah? Tell that to my trauma. I spit. Her lips twitch, almost smiling. The curse was never his alone. It bound you both. To test your hearts. I've passed every test you could possibly invent. She tilts her head. No. You've survived them. You haven't proven them. I blink. What's the difference? She steps closer, voice low. If your love is real, prove it. Not by saving him, not by protecting him, but by standing against fate itself. A challenge. And for the first time in all my miserable, looping lives, something inside me shifts. Fine, you want proof? You'll get it. I whisper. The peacock god rolls his eyes. Oh, please. Mortal rebellion never works. Maybe not, I say, stepping backward as my body starts to dissolve into mortal light, and then I jump, falling back toward life, heart pounding with fury and something dangerously close to hope. When I wake up, I'm in Derek's arms. He's alive, warm, breathing, his eyes open, confused. Ren, you okay? I grin like a man who's seen the end credits and decided to rewrite them. Oh, I'm better than okay. I just declared war on destiny. I say. He blinks. That sounds illegal. It is, we're doing it anyway. I say cheerfully. Later, When he falls asleep beside me, I look at the stars, those nosy little pixels of divine nonsense, and whisper, "You wanted proof? Watch closely, because this time, I'm not dying for him." I reach out, brushing Derek's hair back gently. "This time, I'm living for him," I murmur, and somewhere in the heavens, I swear I hear the goddess laugh, soft, proud, and maybe, just maybe, a little impressed. This time, again in our death circle, there comes assassins, because apparently the universe heard us and said, "Challenge accepted." They pour in, all cloaks and daggers, moving with mechanical precision. Derek pushes me behind him instantly. "Stay back, Derek. We literally just had a conversation about teamwork." "Run," he snaps, and then chaos. Steel against steel. Derek fights like a man possessed. Elegant, brutal, furious. I grab the nearest candlestick, my eternal weapon of choice, and start wildly swinging at anything that moves. "Why? Can't we have one normal day?" I shout between swings. "Because you married me," Derek shouts back, dodging a blade. Fair. Then it happens. One assassin breaks through his guard. A flash of silver, a sharp cry, and the blade drives straight into Derek's side. Time stops. "No!" He stumbles. I catch him before he falls. Deja vu slicing through me like the knife should have. "Derek, no. Not again." He grips my wrist, blood soaking between us. "Looks like Loop 11. Don't say that like it's funny." I choke out. "I promised we'd fight together." And then something changes. A surge of light bursts from his wound, spreading through me like fire and honey and heartbreak all at once. The curse, that horrible ancient magic, flares between us. It's alive, furious, but fading. The god's laughter echoes faintly in the air, confused. The goddess of Bond's voice whispers in my head, "Prove it's real." And I realize this is it. The test. The final loop. I hold him tighter, press my forehead against his, and whisper, "Take me instead. If love's the price, I'll pay it." The curse responds, blinding, searing, holy. We both collapse to the floor, hands still clasped. For a terrifying moment, I think we're both gone. But then he moves. "Ren?" His voice is weak, trembling. "You're alive." I laugh, tears spilling down my face. "Barely. But yeah, guess love really does break things, including curses." Outside, the sky cracks open, not with thunder this time, but with light. The gods are watching, but they're silent. No bets, no mockery, no laughter, just the quiet awe of immortals who've been proven wrong. Derek reaches for my hand, squeezing it gently. "So we won," he murmurs, smiling faintly. I grin back, exhausted and delirious. "I think we just glitched heaven." He chuckles weakly. "Good. I hate their show anyway." We both laugh, broken, relieved, stupidly in love. And as the light fades around us, I whisper, "This time, let's stay." And for once, the universe doesn't argue. Chapter 13. And they lived, mostly happily ever after. There's something you need to know about happily ever afters. They're a scam. Nobody tells you that after breaking a world-shattering curse, you still have to deal with taxes, travel paperwork, and Derek's complete inability to pack a bag like a normal human. But here we are, free men, finally out of the palace, standing in front of a carriage piled high with everything Derek owns. Which, apparently, includes 5 swords, 2 portraits of me, I didn't approve those, and a suspiciously alive potted plant named Gregory III. Why does the plant have a name? Ask. He's survived multiple fires, he's basically family. Derek says proudly. Right. Add that to the list of strange family members. 1 cursed ex-villain, 1 reincarnated office worker, and a plant with trauma. After breaking the curse, Derek did something I didn't see coming. He renounced the throne, just stood in front of the royal court and said, "I'm done ruling. I'm going to travel with my idiot husband." Cue collective gasps, fainting nobles, and one advisor who muttered, "At least the curse made more sense than this." Now, weeks later, we're officially fugitives of responsibility. No crown. No guards. No looming sense of doom. Just me, Derek, and an alarming number of near-death experiences waiting to happen. Where to first? I ask, squinting at a hand-drawn map. He shrugs. Anywhere that doesn't remind you of soup. So, half the kingdom's off-limits. He laughs, grabs my hand, and pulls me toward the carriage. Then it's a small world after all. Our first stop, a quiet seaside village. Peaceful, calm, not cursed. I should have known that was the red flag. Within an hour, Derek's helping fishermen pull in nets, laughing under the sun like he hasn't been assassinated 11 times. Within 2 hours, he nearly falls off the pier trying to save a crab. Derek, put the crustacean down before you drown. I scream, sprinting after him. It's stuck, he yells back, teetering on the edge. So are you. He slips. I catch him by the collar, nearly toppling us both into the ocean. The crab waves its claw in victory as if mocking me personally. When I finally drag him back to safety, dripping wet and laughing, I glare. You're not allowed near bodies of water unsupervised. You're my supervisor? He teases. I'm your survival instructor. Hot. Not the word I'd use, Derek. A few days later, we stop at a mountain temple. It's beautiful, serene, quiet, filled with monks who definitely don't know what to do with us. We're halfway up the stairs when Derek decides to race me. He's winning, of course, until a squirrel crosses his path and he nearly tumbles off the side of the cliff. I grab him by the belt. Do you have a death wish or a balance problem? He's laughing again, utterly unbothered. Both. I swear, love is the stupidest survival instinct I've ever had. At night, we sit by campfires. Sometimes we argue about directions. Sometimes we kiss until the fire dies out. Sometimes I just stare at him, alive, real, mine. It's weird, being at peace. My brain keeps waiting for the sky to fall, for the gods to laugh again, for the universe to reload. But instead, Derek's arm slips around my shoulders, his warmth grounding me. You're thinking too hard again, he murmurs. I'm thinking about your terrible decision-making. He chuckles. That's not new. No, but now I'm allowed to complain about it without triggering divine punishment. He smirks, leaning closer. So you're saying I can get away with more now? I sigh. Please don't test that theory. He kisses me anyway, and for once the world doesn't explode. Weeks turn into months. We see kingdoms rise and fall, eat questionable street food, and accidentally start a bar fight because Derek called someone's horse underwhelming. We're happy, chaotic, reckless, occasionally on fire, but happy. And sometimes, when the stars come out, I catch him watching me like he still can't believe we made it. One night, lying under the open sky, he says, "You ever think about the curse?" All the time, mostly when you trip over rocks. I admit. He laughs. I'm serious. So am I. He rolls onto his side, brushing my hair back gently. You saved me. Yeah. Well, someone had to keep the world from losing its prettiest idiot. I mutter. He grins. You love this idiot. Don't make it weird. He leans closer, voice soft. Ren, thank you for coming back. Every time. I swallow hard. My throat's tight. Don't make me cry, Derek. You'll slip on my tears and die again. He snorts. Not planning on it. Good, because if you die again, I'm not reincarnating this time. I mean it, I say, poking his chest. He catches my hand, presses a kiss to my palm, and smiles. That same stupid, beautiful smile that ruined my sanity across 11 lifetimes. Then, I'll make living worth it. He says softly. We fall asleep like that, tangled together beneath the stars, the air warm, the world finally quiet. No curses, no resets, no gods laughing, just two idiots in love, defying every death and destiny thrown their way. And maybe, just maybe, this is what happily ever after really means. Not perfection, not peace, but the joy of surviving together anyway. So yeah, we lived, mostly happily, definitely ever after.